question, email the king himself, Scott Engels. Just go to rotoexperts.com and click on Scott Engels' email advice tab. rotoexperts.com, the best fantasy news in the business.
This is WICR.
Welcome back to the morning show here with producer John Stanko and I, P. Consadori. You're listening to us live on Ustream.com and Live365.com, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta do it.
Mm-hmm. Bring out sassy black lady voice.
Mm-hmm. Well, before we get into entertainment and sports, let's do the weather. Today is going to be a high of 36 with some clouds and some sun. Tonight, dropping partly cloudy and very cold, low of 15. And tomorrow, cold with sun and clouds, high of 31. This weather report's brought to you by Iona College. Move the world. Yes.
Do you move the world, Peter?
One radio broadcast at a time.
One radio broadcast at a time.
That's
Pete
right.
Consadori, moving the world.
With John Stanko, everyone. If it wasn't for John Stanko, we wouldn't have a lot of things here at Iona College. Great play-by-play he does for the women's basketball.
Thank you.
Do you do play-by-play for men's, or you just do the website?
No, I just do the website. I'm back up for color if
Gotcha.
need be. So I might be doing the game Saturday.
Oh, very nice.
The men's game Saturday, depending on if the color guy can make it up to Springfield or not. But I'm
very nice.
back up.
Well, an amazing play caller, John Stanko. Great sports updates. Definitely that Roto Experts commercial you just heard. John Stanko definitely moving the world here at Iona College. So
Thank you, Peter. You move the world as well.
We thank you for being a producer on Wednesdays. We wish you could be a producer every day.
There is no one better at heavy metal rock than you are.
I feel like I'm the only one in Iona that's heavy metal.
That
rock.
means you are the best, though. It means you
By
are the best.
default.
It doesn't matter. It still means you are number one. You could say that. You are number one at Iona College in heavy metal rock. So just you got that going for you. Don't worry.
Well, thank you, John.
I put that
appreciate it.
top line as the resume.
Only/best at heavy metal rock.
No, don't do only. Just put best.
All right, so on to entertainment. Some Oscar winners. Let's talk about the Oscar winners. Matthew McConaughey, Best Actor in a Role.
I loved it in Dallas Buyers Club. I had no problem with it. I had no problem with Best Actress, Cate Blanchett. No problem with either supporting roles winning as well.
Cate Blanchett. You're right.
So 12 Years a Slave won. To be honest with you, I wasn't blown away by any of the victors. I wasn't shocked by anything.
Right.
People were squawking about Leo not winning again, but I'm sorry, he didn't deserve it. In my mind, he's
a great actor.
He's a great actor. He was going up against Matthew McConaughey, who had a performance of his life. I didn't have a problem with the Oscars. I thought Ellen DeGeneres did a great job hosting. Much better than Seth MacFarlane last year. I thought it was good for all audiences this year in terms of comedy. Overall, I thought it was a great show. Besides John Travolta really messing up Idina Menzel's name.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of things going around. Actually, on Facebook, you can type in your name and see how he would pronounce it.
I'm actually gonna look that up now because I want to know what my name is.
Look that up. It's like, what is your John Travolta name? It's pretty funny. Some new trailers. Transformers: Age of Extinction. I saw the trailer and I saw the Camaro they are using for Bumblebee. Wow. As a Camaro person, as a person who has a Camaro, wow. It's a concept car. It's not on the market. It's not production. They made it just for this movie. Now, if you haven't seen the trailer for the movie, it looks like, considering also the title too, and I hope I'm not giving anything away, it looks like it's going to be some sort of prehistoric kind of Transformers, almost like dinosaurs.
It's Dinobots.
It's Dinobots, but it incorporates Bumblebee. It incorporates Optimus Prime as well?
Yes,
right?
obviously.
Yeah.
Not going to get rid of
So
also, my John Travolta name is Jackson Schmotkins.
There you go.
Instead of Jonathan Stanko, Jackson Schmotkins.
There you go. Well, the trailer was released Entertainment Weekly. The sequel reunites Wahlberg with his Pain and Gain director and is set to launch a new trilogy featuring an all-new cast of characters, with the sole leftover from the first three films being Peter Cullen, who returns to voice Autobot leader Optimus Prime. I think that was the best thing they can do, is bring back him.
I agree, but
I believe he was the original Transformers Optimus Prime, like the cartoon. I believe he was the one who did Optimus Prime back then too.
I don't know that.
I feel like when I watched the making of Transformers, that was one of the key points. I could be wrong, so don't quote me.
Patrick Cousins. Just in case you want to know is your name.
I'm
going to call you that for the rest of the show.
Patrick
Cousins.
All right.
Patryk. That's how you spell Patrick. Patrick Cousins.
And what was your name?
Jason Schmotkins.
All right, Jason. All right, so Wahlberg. That should be interesting.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I might go see this movie and leave happy. Because I went to go see the first Transformers. Sorry, excuse me to interrupt.
No. This is your thing. Go ahead.
I saw the first Transformers and I thought it was great because it was visually good. The acting could have been better, obviously. I mean, you had Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox. I mean, that was just purely aesthetics, I guess you could say. It was definitely, the movie was a looker, if you will. Like, it was just to watch and say, okay, that was technically an amazing movie. And then I saw 2 and 3 just to see what cars and what Transformers are going to have, you know. But I think with Wahlberg being in this and doing like this Dinobot, I think it's going to be really interesting.
I'm going to tell you right now, they should have stopped after the third movie. I hate the idea of Michael Bay bringing back this trilogy because I'm under the impression that the second and third Transformers movies...
It's going to be more explosions.
It's going to be awful. It's going to be explosions with terrible acting and a terrible cliche storyline. Guess what? The daughter gets kidnapped.
Wahlberg, though?
Wahlberg has been in some bad movies.
I'm not saying he hasn't. I've never said he's been in... It hasn't been bad movies. Every actor I feel like has been in one bad movie at least in their lifetime.
But I don't like Michael Bay because he puts an emphasis on special effects, not a story. It's already a cliche story because you know the daughter gets kidnapped based off the Super Bowl teaser trailer. Right. So it's going to be a father wanting revenge to get his daughter back. Which how many times we heard that storyline?
It's going to be Taken. It's like Transformers edition Taken.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go see it because I want to know what the hustle and bustle is gonna be about because everyone's gonna go see it. I'm gonna tell you right now, my expectations are incredibly low. Because granted, I thought the first one was good. I didn't think it was great, but I enjoyed it because it was new.
Right.
And
exactly.
It was. I think I gave it like a C+. It was a good action movie. It was a little bit above average, but the second and third one I thought were abysmal. Like bottom of the bucket, scum bucket, to quote Peter Travers from Rolling Stone in terms of terrible movies. And I'm telling you right now, I think this is going to be another flop in terms of critical success.
Well, this is why I want to go see it because I mean it looks theatrically it looks cool, and I feel like I just want to see a different character in there. I want to see how they pull that off.
I mean, Mark Wahlberg has to add some legitimacy to it, but it doesn't. It's not going to affect my opinion of it one actor's role.
Well, let's see. You probably are right considering you see a lot more movies and know a lot more about criticizing movies than I do.
I just don't like Michael Bay.
So Michael Bay is just
it's either you love him or you hate him.
Right.
And
exactly.
I don't like him much at all.
So speaking of the Oscars, we talked about John Travolta.
He finally came out and spoke a little bit about his massive flubbing of the name.
Yeah.
He messed up the name Idina Menzel, who obviously starred in Frozen, the Broadway star, saying "Let It Go" live performance at the Oscars. However, it was pronounced.
She did great.
She did. It was pronounced Adele Dazeem. However, that was what John Travolta said. I don't know how that goes to Idina Menzel, but it was Adele Dazeem. That's what he said at the Oscars. So I don't understand how, unless the teleprompter typed it up wrong and he just read it right off the teleprompter.
That could be a possibility.
But regardless, Travolta released a statement saying, "I've been beating myself up all day, and I thought, what would Idina Menzel say? She'd say, let it go, let it go. Idina is incredibly talented, and I'm so happy Frozen took home 2 Oscars Sunday night."
She is from Wicked, right?
She's from Wicked. She's the star of Wicked.
Yeah, and her voice shows why she's the star of Wicked.
She was fantastic.
On to MTV. MTV Movie Awards for 2014 is going to be hosted by Conan O'Brien. Now, you might disagree with me, but I happen to like Conan O'Brien. I think he's funny at times. Mm-hmm. I mean, on the Conan O'Brien show, on Conan, a lot of it is the writers, and I'm sure Conan puts a lot of it in, but I find him hysterical.
I think he's good. I think Jimmy Fallon right now is the best late night. I love Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I never said he was better than Jimmy Fallon.
Okay.
I just said I think he's funny.
Glad we're on the same page. I would put him above. I don't like David Letterman very much.
I never really got into David Letterman's just humor.
I think he's good at what he does, but I don't find his show funny. Like Jimmy Fallon, I have literally laughed out loud, crying, laughing.
He's hysterical. Jimmy Fallon's the best. I feel like he's the best in the business.
And I didn't like Jay Leno, so I wasn't upset to see him go. I know he had a reign at NBC that lasted longer than my lifetime, but
he's been there for years. Except for that Conan O'Brien incident where like Conan did it for like a week and a half and then brought back Jay Leno.
I like Conan on Twitter though. Conan on Twitter has got some really good Twitter. I've retweeted him more than a couple of times.
He does some stuff like the interviews get funny, but I feel like the skits before the interviews are the best. Mm-hmm. His monologues are okay. I think Fallon got him beat on the monologue. I think Fallon got him beat on everything.
Yeah.
Because he's Jimmy Fallon. He's just amazing.
Love him.
But Conan's got some good monologues, but the skits he does, he did a ride-along with Kevin Hart and Ice Cube.
Oh, really?
One of the funniest things I've seen.
I didn't see that.
You have to look it up on YouTube. They go through an app and they hire some guy to drive him around. Apparently, some civilian, and they just do stupid things, and it's amazingly funny. Yeah,
I'll have to look that up. I have not seen that one.
And Kevin Hart and Ice Cube are making fun of Conan and all this stuff, and it's great. It's great. So yeah, I would like to see how Conan does hosting the awards.
Yeah, hosting the 2014 MTV Awards, which are always a little bit more rambunctious than the Oscars. Safe to say. I mean, Conan O'Brien, what can you say? Good for him. Hopefully the award ceremony is all right. I'm sure it will be. MTV always finds a way to entertain and bring something interesting to the party. Was that the award show where Scarlett Johansson kissed Sandra Bullock, or it was the other way around? Sandra Bullock kissed.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you.
I think it was. I think it was the year of The Blind Side, and it happened, and the internet blew up 10 times. The Oscars crashed Twitter, apparently. Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres with the selfie.
Yeah, Ellen DeGeneres with the selfie.
Yeah, she took a selfie with a bunch of actors.
That. Now, I also saw a guy delivering pizza.
It's true.
Was it just a random delivery guy?
It was a random delivery guy. Wow. He had no idea he was going on stage until he got to the arena. They let him.
The tip must have been amazing.
He went on the Ellen DeGeneres show the day after, and his tip was over $1,000. She handed him a hat with over $1,000 in it.
Wow.
So, safe to say,
Congrats, buddy.
He made a good payday. He was lucky to be working that night.
Yeah, that's crazy. And Brad Pitt's eating pizza next to Angelina
Exactly.
Jolie.
It's Jennifer Lawrence eating pizza, Matthew McConaughey. So,
she fell again. Walking down the red carpet, she almost took down another actress with her. She fell.
Yep.
Does she know how to walk in heels?
Probably not. She likes the sneakers, sweatpants, and a t-shirt routine, which I am okay with.
Yeah, she's like my girlfriend. My girlfriend loves heels, but she can't walk in them.
I don't know how girls do it anyway.
It's a little.
Why would you put yourself through it? I mean, you look good. You do. Women, you look fantastic.
Yeah, but it just looks
you realize
painful.
you would still look really good in any other pair of shoe.
Right.
In my mind. It's just like,
I agree.
If I'm going out with you, I think you're pretty already. And I know you want to look extra pretty, which is perfectly okay. I respect that. And I appreciate the effort. But I still think you'd look really pretty in sneakers and sweatpants.
Why put yourself through that pain and just... Because halfway through the night, they're saying, all right, I got to get out of these shoes anyway. So it's
exactly. Then you're left holding them.
Yeah. I mean, it's different. If you're going to a formal, if you're going to a prom, wear the heels, bring flats or whatever they call them. Flats, yes?
I don't...
Whatever. But, yeah. So, let's go on to sports. NCAA basketball, the number one Florida takes care of business in South Carolina, 72-66. Tell us about Syracuse, John.
Syracuse fell at home on senior day to Georgia Tech, 67-62. Georgia Tech came in with only 4 conference wins, and talk about the Orange going off the deep end.
Yeah, after that Boston College game, they have not been the same.
Boston College Eagles getting the ball rolling for the rest of the ACC to take Syracuse down. Then you had number 12 Michigan defeating Illinois 84-53. Georgetown tried boosting its tournament resume with a 75-63 win over 13th ranked Creighton. Baylor also increased its shot at March Madness with a 74-61 win over 16th ranked Iowa State. Number 25 ranked Kentucky struggled at home against Alabama, but did get the 55-48 win. Oregon takes down Arizona State at home, 85-78. And the game of the night, however, was Marquette versus Providence. The Friars and the Golden Eagles went to double OT. The Friars got the 81-80 win. They needed that win to stay in conversation for March Madness. They got it. So that was a big win for the Providence Friars. That was a game of the night in college basketball.
Look at that. John Stanko with your WICR sports update.
But there's more.
There's more.
The NBA, San Antonio Spurs take down the Cleveland Cavaliers 122-101. Golden State sneaks by Indiana on the road 98-96. The Houston Rockets survive against the Miami Heat 106-103. LeBron James missed a game-tying three-point shot at the buzzer. Oklahoma City takes care of business against the 76ers 125-92. Russell Westbrook with a triple-double for the Thunder. Beyond it to another 20-point game effort from Blake Griffin, the Los Angeles Clippers were able to get by Phoenix 104-96, and the New Orleans Pelicans took care of business against the Los Angeles Lakers with a score of 132-125.
Wow. Take a breath, dude.
Never.
It's always a good report when the Knicks aren't in it.
It's true.
Because I'm just so fed up with them. and I don't even want to get into them. I just wanted to throw that in there, that I'm done with the Knicks. I'm a Knicks fan, and I'm done with the Knicks.
I listen. The Knicks are in a deep doo-doo. Deep doo-doo.
That's one way to say it, especially on the air.
I mean, when you have Carmelo Anthony obviously frustrated, you have nobody really playing defense. You got J.R. Smith hooking up shots from God knows where. So I think the Knicks are in trouble. Playoffs might not be happening in Madison Square Garden.
I don't think
so.
And
who would have thought that at the start of the year?
Yeah, right.
Who would have thought that? However, there will be NHL playoffs happening. The New York Rangers are currently in the middle of the pack in the Eastern Conference.
Yes, they are.
Playing fairly good basketball. And the NHL trade deadline. The hockey trade deadline. What did I say?
They're playing good basketball.
Yeah.
They could probably play better basketball than the Knicks.
Are you okay? You're like dying over
I
here.
don't know. I got something called
WICR,
my throat. I'm sorry.
In the WICR studio, Peter Consadori is coughing up a lung over here.
Two lungs.
Coughing up two lungs over here.
Oh, man.
But yeah, the Rangers are playing good hockey. You're right there. They could probably play better basketball than the Knicks.
They probably could. And the Nets probably.
Yep.
But the Nets actually have been doing somewhat well.
Yeah, no, the Nets have been doing all right. Jason Kidd finally seems to right in the ship a little bit.
Well, if you want to go into NHL, let's talk about the Rangers. The Rangers losing 2, one against the Flyers, one against the Bruins. Flyers was a matchup I thought they could have took them, but obviously not. Bruins, I didn't see them winning. Bruins beat us 6-3, but we did miraculously after the Olympic break beat the Blackhawks.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I did not see coming. I thought we were going to lose 3 straight just because of the matchups. I mean, tomorrow we take on the Maple Leafs, which should be a good game. Maple Leafs have looked like a solid team, especially against the Rangers. I believe they're away, the Rangers. They've been strong away, so hopefully we'll pick up a win because we actually lost the second seat in the second place in the Metropolitan Division, and the Flyers jumped up, and the Capitals are not far behind.
Now Capitals are playing well. Ovechkin coming out of the Olympic break on fire, not showing any remnants of the Russians falling flat.
We lost Zuccarello from the Olympic break because he hurt his hand. He's day by day. Lundqvist and McDonough didn't skate in their practices, I believe, yesterday because they needed a day. They just Alain Vigneault thought they just needed a day off just to relax, I guess. I'm telling you, Talbot came out strong after the Olympic break. He didn't play the Olympics, but he must have been doing something. He definitely was training, had to be, because Talbot was looking good against the Blackhawks. I mean, he gave up a goal, but he was looking good. And then Lundqvist comes in, we lose 2 in a row. And you know what's funny? When the beginning of the season happened, it was the same thing. Talbot was looking good, and Lundqvist wasn't. Then once it started getting closer to the Olympic break and everything, Lundqvist was on fire, just completely on fire. Talbot wasn't doing that well, and now it's going back full circle. And I hope it doesn't happen because we had a really slow start this season. And that's what the Rangers, I feel like every season. They have a slow start, then they start getting chemistry and stuff. And I feel like with this Olympic break, it didn't help because now you have, 3 weeks to a month off without playing with your players, playing against them. And now you got to play with them, and they're not, Sweden lost the gold. So now Lundqvist is in a slump. Hagelin's in a slump. This is in a slump. Nash is like, oh, yeah, we won the gold. I'm going crazy, But I don't know. I hope we take on the Maple Leafs like we usually do. Last time I went to the game, I went to see the Dallas Stars, and the game before that, I went with my girlfriend see the Maple Leafs, and it was a close game. They put up a fight, the Maple Leafs. They're not someone to
they got a proud culture up there.
Oh yeah, of course.
But speaking of your Rangers, they're reportedly making a run at acquiring Martin St. Louis.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
I think if they pick him up, it shouldn't be long term. Because frankly, the guy's 38. He's getting up there, and he's starting to show the traits of a Jaromir Jagr, where he's powerful. Jagr's in his 40s, maybe 42, and he's still. I mean, Jagr just scored his 700th career goal the other night. If he turns out to be a Jagr, I say I give him maybe another 4 to 5 years, doing well.
According to a report from the New York Daily News, the Lightning right wing, St. Louis, has asked to be dealt only to the Rangers via a trade.
Well, obviously that's where he wants to go then.
Will it happen? That's the question.
It might, because Callie might go. He's
and then you'll cry a little bit.
Well, I'll cry because, like I've said in the past many of times, I don't think they should trade him midseason. I think that's going to mess with the team bad. who knows? If we trade him for St. Louis and St. Louis comes on and the team just gets like, yeah, we got St. Louis, Callahan. I don't know what the team's feelings are for Callahan. From what I've seen and what I've heard, they love Callahan. He's their captain. He's their leader. But when St. Louis comes in, if Callahan goes, is he going to be the captain? And if he becomes captain straight away, that's going to get low morale from the alternate captain saying, well, I've been on this team longer than St. Louis. Mm-hmm. I don't care if he was a captain. It's going to raise a lot of issues. It's very – heads are going to be butting if that happens. If St. Louis comes on as a right winger and they promote an alternate captain to captain, I think it would be good.
I think that's what they would do.
I think that – and that's what they should do. But I think that would be great for the Rangers. Nash will probably get an alternate captain spot because when Stahl was out, he was alternate captain. I can see Stahl or Richards going for captain. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see that. Girardi was signed for a 6-year extension, I believe, $33 million.
Yeah, a long time.
Which was good. He's been doing well on defense. But it's tough to say. I mean, today's the deadline. I got some trades for you right now to talk about. Some weird trades, too. I mean, one of them's for a 2015 draft pick. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's not...
Planning for the future.
Yeah, big time. There's obviously some prospects that they're looking at in college. They're only juniors right now. That's why they asked for a 2015 draft pick. But, yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it. I feel like it would be a good trade if they brought Callahan for St. Louis. I think Callahan's just being way too greedy, and I've said it so many times. Mm-hmm. He keeps saying his heart's in New York. Obviously, his heart's in New York, but he wants to get paid. But I don't think he's worth the money he's asking. I don't.
I think your sentiment is shared by many New York fans.
Yeah. I don't know what Bartnett thinks. I really need to talk to him about this. I feel like me and him can have a good conversation on this because I believe he's a Ranger fan too.
He's a diehard Ranger fan.
Yeah, so he's like me. So maybe we'll get him on the show after the trade deadline. Maybe next Wednesday if he's available. We'll do a nice talk with him. Have
Sounds
Kenny
good.
here too, hopefully.
Well, speaking of other trades, what other trades have happened in the NHL?
Yeah, some kind of I guess you could say, I don't want to say small trades, but a lot of trades happening yesterday because the deadline is today. Mike Weaver from the Canadiens going to the Panthers, and the Panthers pick up Weaver, and the Canadiens are taking a 2015 fifth-round pick. So that's one of the kind of weird ones, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. The Oilers picking up Ilya, I can never say his name, Bizgalov, I believe. From the Minnesota Wild, and the Wild is going to be taking a 2014 fourth-round pick. The Senators picking up Costello, and the Sharks picking up Mullen. They're going to do a deal between them. Between the Capitals and the Ducks are picking up Dustin Penner, and the Capitals are going to pick up a 2014 fourth-round draft pick. Here's a big one. The Ducks between the Oilers are going to pick up a 2014 fifth-round pick and a 2015 third-round pick for Victor Faths going to the Ducks. That's a big one too. Again, 2 draft picks in consecutive years.
Yep.
It's definitely, I guess the Ducks really wanted Faths for that, so the Oilers are going to get a couple picks. Between the Dallas Stars and the Ducks are going to acquire a 2014 conditional fourth-round pick, and the Dallas Stars will be getting Stefan Robidas. Here's a great one. I wish Kenny was here. He would just be wild right now. The Islanders are picking up Andrew McDonald from the Flyers, and the Flyers are getting in return Matt Mangini, who's a center, a 2014 third-round pick, and a 2015 second-round pick.
It seems like a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot for one player. I wonder what Kenny's thoughts is on that. I don't know much about the Flyers, unfortunately, so maybe he's good.
I don't know.
We got to talk to Barnett.
I am not a hockey person. I will tell you right now.
You should. Trade between the Blackhawks and the Coyotes. David Runblad and Matthew Brisbois. Yeah. Brisbois. I can't. Half these people I can't say.
I love you pronouncing these names.
And I love
it's
hockey.
Giving me so much relief.
All right, Jason. So, yeah, the Coyotes are going to pick up those two, and then the Chicago Blackhawks are going to be getting a second-round pick. Then between the Panthers and the Sharks, Excuse me, not Sharks, the Canucks. Jacob Markstrom and Sean Mathias is going to the Panthers. And the Panthers are the Canucks are requiring Luongo and Anthony. Definitely, they're picking up a goalie and a forward.
Yeah, what's crazy about that one is now Luongo's on Florida with Tim Thomas, and when they were in the Stanley Cup together, they were jabbing at each other. Safe to say. Definitely. So that's interesting how that dynamic will work out in the locker room.
Actually, something that's really funny on NHL.com that's just posted up: which players most likely to be traded? Earnhoff and Ryan Callahan, Martin St. Louis, and James Reimer, and Earnhoff is getting 48% right now, but Callahan's close to 26%, and Martin St. Louis 26% as well in the polls on AHL.com. So I find that kind of funny. And yesterday, another pick that was another trade that was picked up. The Coyotes between the Capitals. The Capitals gave up a lot, I feel. The Coyotes are acquiring Klesla, Brown, and a 2015 fourth-round draft pick. And the Capitals are requiring Erot and Mitchell, 2 forwards from the Coyotes.
You feel that deal was unfair?
I don't know if it was unfair. I just think it's a lot. They're going nuts because today's the draft. Excuse me, not the draft.
Deadline.
Today is the deadline for trading. I'm not sure the time, but I'm sure it's late afternoon.
Per the usual.
But these people are giving up a lot. And I really hope that doesn't mess with it.
Well, I guess teams are willing to overpay to
that's
have
why
a
I feel
chance
like
to
that's
win.
why I feel like Callahan is gonna get the money he wants. I know the Sabres were definitely giving him the money and the time that he wanted. But here's the other thing: do you really want to be on the Buffalo Sabres?
I mean, that's a fair point. The Sabres also made moves, so they traded Ryan Miller a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Ryan Miller
to St. Louis.
To St. Louis. Goalies going left and right. Goalies and captains. It's all goalies and captains. It's almost like a rebuild year for everyone. Like, all right, we don't like a captain. All right, he's asking too much money. All right, whatever. It's getting ridiculous. Next, you're gonna hear Sidney Crosby gets traded out of nowhere. Like that'll be like the upset of the.
Yeah, the day that happens, the NHL revolts.
Oh no, I feel like Sidney Crosby will be traded.
Like Pittsburgh will revolt.
I feel like Sidney Crosby will be traded toward the end of his career. He's not staying with them, I don't think, for his entire career. I feel like I don't think he's gonna be. He's a great hockey player, but I don't think he's gonna be with the Penguins forever. He might, but I think just like Callahan and St. Louis, who are the captains of. Probably the most talked about NHL teams right now. The Lightning, the Rangers, and the Penguins. I feel like it's just something's going to happen toward the end of their careers. That's just how it's going to happen. Look at Gretzky. He went to the Oilers.
Exactly.
I mean, he went to the Oilers because he wanted to buy them. He wanted to buy that team. So I feel like that was one of the reasons why he left. But you never know with the NHL. Very exciting sport to watch. Very exciting sport to watch trades.
Yeah.
Any sport's very exciting to see what trades happen.
Trade deadline for hockey is more active than other sports. Baseball is usually a letdown. There's almost nothing in.
I find that very odd.
The NBA has some blockbuster trades sometimes, but otherwise NHL is definitely one of the more busier sports of the trade deadline.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, multiple offers from the Rangers to Martin St. Louis. Who knows? Who? It would be nice to see. Martin St. Louis come on board, but like I said, I have to see what the dynamics are going to be. I mean, I remember there were rumors that the Rangers wanted to pick up Stamkos, and that would have been just like out of nowhere. If he didn't break his leg, obviously he's been out. Unfortunately, he had to miss the Olympics because of that. Devastating hit. I believe it was against the Bruins.
It was against the Bruins. It was gross.
He really wasn't hit. I feel like he was caught up in the other guy's like skate or stick, and he just went right into the goalpost. And of course, the fans gave him a standing ovation in Boston. Boston guys, clicking their sticks against the boards and stuff, being very respectful the way hockey should be played. There's a lot of people out there that are just play dirty.
Jerks.
Yeah, for the most part. And a lot of people who flop. A lot of them embellish a lot.
Well, that's in every sport.
But I feel like with hockey, it's hard to embellish a lot because you get hit into the boards. You know, you can't just be like, oh, you know.
No, basketball has the most flopping.
Yes, you're right.
Ever.
I agree.
It's bad.
Yeah. Well, that's it for NHL talk, and unfortunately, that's it for the morning show this morning. Thank you, John Stanko, for coming in.
Thank you, Pete, for coming in.
No problem. Catch us tomorrow morning on Live 365 and Ustream.com by searching WICR. You can like us on Facebook at Facebook.com, WICR on College Radio. Go follow us on Twitter at IonaWICR, and go to YouTube and watch previously recorded shows at YouTube.com/WICL Gales Radio. Until tomorrow morning, we'll see you then. Tomorrow morning at 9.